Hey guys, it's Trevenant Forest here, and today I am going to be bringing you week 2 of the NPL. Now, originally I was supposed to be facing off against R4 and the Sacramento Sea Kings, but some changes have come up. The GBA, that you should know what that is if you're watching this, it has collapsed. It collapsed about when I'm recording this. It collapsed last weekend. Yeah, so there were coaches from the GBA that wanted to join other GBA format leagues, and luckily, Kyle, the commissioner, or KW2, you might know him as, he knew Tom. He was friends with Tom of the San Jose Sharpedos. So Tom joined, and also Danza, Crobat for the win from the LA Nidokings, he also joined. So yeah, so that's how that went down. So instead of facing R4 and Sacramento Sea Kings, I'm facing Danza in the LA Nidokings. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I knew that on paper I had a great matchup. I had Machamp did a lot to his team. Bandit Machamp, I brought Bandit Machamp, and it literally 2-hit KOs everything on his team after rocks with close combat. 2-hit KOs or even OKOs. Starmie does a lot to his team too. Just like some things like Porygon and Rotomosh kind of wall it, but other than that, it does a lot versus his team. Charizard X is probably my second win condition after Machamp. It can set up DDs. It has Earthquake for Dynasty. I can just Flare Blitz and Dragon Claw my way to victory. Then I have Alamomola just to bring Wish to my team, and also knock off some things. I have Registeel for rocks, and I also have, finally I have a Subcall Mine Chris with, it's a really specific spread. It has 252 HP, 136 defense with the Bold Nature, 56 attack EVs, I believe, so I can OHKO both Chomp and Lando if he brings it after +1, and then I have 64 speed IVs, not IVs, EVs, just so I can outspeed bulky Meloetta with little speed, but with just a tiny bit of speed investment if he brought that. So yeah, so that's my team. I'll go into analysis of his team in a separate video because I don't want this video, my last video was well over 20 minutes, and I think I spent a little bit too much time on that, so I'll just make a separate video where I can go even more in depth than I could in this video and make it just about as long. So yeah, so why don't we get right into the battle? So actually he brought Meloetta, Mammothspine, Landorus, Mega Diancie, Porygon 2, and Rotomosh. So this team is looking very weak to Machamp, so I know that if I can get Machamp in, it'll pretty much pick up a kill every time it comes in. So let's just get right into it. Alright, so first turn I lead off with Starmie, and he leads off with Meloetta. Not the ideal situation, so I'm going to just go straight in my Registeel. It turns out he probably is Scarfed because he has U-turn on Meloetta, which is not a thing you should usually see. So I'm at that point, I know he's probably Scarfed. Here I predict him, well, I really know that I'm specially defensive, so I can take one of any hit from this Landorus. But he just goes for U-turn, and I get up my rocks for free, and now they're going to stay on there. Here I almost go into Machamp predicting Will-O-Wisp, but I thought maybe he wouldn't do it, but he did. So now I don't really have anything to switch into a Will-O-Wisp except Machamp, just in case he wanted to go for double Will-O-Wisp. That's what I was predicting maybe to happen, but he just goes for the good play and goes straight for the Volt Switch to get momentum. So he kind of has the Volt Turn team because we've seen U-turn on both Meloetta and Landorus so far, and we've seen Volt Switch on Rotom obviously. So here he Volt Switches into Rambo the Landorus. I do not want to stay in and take a Psychic, so I just go into Cress, and Cress is going to do a lot of work this game, as you'll see here. Now here I'm just going to go straight for the Ice Beam. I don't want to set up a sub or a Calm Mind yet. And right here he goes into Diancie because he can easily eat up a Ice Beam from a no setup. My Cresselia isn't set up yet, so it can eat up an Ice Beam. And but here, this is the first bit of an unfortunate hacks for him. Fortunate for me, he gets frozen. I feel terrible about that. Like, I don't even go for Calm Mind right here. I just go straight for the side shock. But now on the second turn, I'll go for the Calm Mind here, either predicting him to switch out or get enough of a boost so I can KO the Diancie with the next side shock. But he goes into Porygon 2, and here predicting a... Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So I go for the Calm Mind, like I said. Now, unless he's running like some weird max speed Porygon 2, which you should never run. And he isn't, he's running a defensive one. So I'm going to get my leftovers. I'll be at a very good range of HP for this next turn. Sorry about this, I'll have to pause until showdown. Oh, never mind. So okay, so right here I predicted him to go straight for the Toxic, so I set up my sub, and really, now he might not known I had sub because he saw Ice Beam, and usually Crest sub Calm Mind. Crest does not carry Ice Beam, usually carries Recovery Move. I am not carrying a Recovery Move on mine. I'm just straight up carrying Ice Beam, Side Shock, Calm Mind, and sub, because I have Wish on Alomomola, and since Crest can switch into any one of his bonds, I can always just get a Wish up right into Crest. So right here, I'm just free to start setting up more Calm Minds. Sorry about the slowness of Showdown replay. I don't think I can fix that, so sorry guys, I'll just have to kind of deal with that. So I just set up this Calm Mind, and he just goes for a T-Bolt, even with the boost, since I'm at 2 plus 2 and he's only at plus 1. That's not even gonna come close to taking out my sub. And I just go for a third Calm Mind right here, and he can't even break the sub now. And right here I decided just to go for the attack, because I want him to break my sub so I can get a fresh new sub at full health, or near full health. So I'm gonna go for the sub right here, and this is really the second turn of unfortunate hacks against Danza. Right here he misses his Icicle Crash. Now in the long run, yes, that hurt, because he would have been able to get off a hit versus Crest itself and not just the sub. But, you know, if I was really smart, I would have just probably seen if he was Life Orb or something, and just stalled him out until I could take him out with Sky Shock. But, you know, it was unfortunate because, I mean, I think those were the only 2 real hacks I got against him, but they were huge hacks that ruined it. And here, that's where the speed I run on Crest comes into play, because I'm able to outspeed Rotom where I normally couldn't outspeed Rotom. And his Volt Switches aren't going to be doing anything because I'm at plus 3 and he's a defensive Rotom. So he goes Volt Switches out into Rambo. And right here, I just go for the... I believe I go for Ice Beam, or maybe another. I might have gone for sub, predicting him to break my. Yeah, I just go for Ice Beam, which is a lot of damage. 35% to a Meloetta, which is crazy. Although it might be naive nature, I don't know. Maybe that's why I did so much, because Meloetta is usually a tank on the special side. So he's just gonna go for U-turn right here. Get off a little chip damage on Cresselia, not much. Right here he's just gonna sack Mega Diancie because frozen, it's useless. So I get off nice Side Shock. It's going to kill the Mega Diancie, and Crest already has 2 kills, and it's looking like it's pretty much a sweep at this point. Because even Lando's U-turn is only doing not even sub damage, and he just pretty much has to keep U-turning in and out. Right here, I just keep going for Side Shock. Unfortunately, this Side Shock does not quite take out the Meloetta. I was hoping it would, but it does not. So he's going to be able to get off a little tiny chip damage with Side Shock, but still not very much. Basically 5% after leftovers. So now he's just gonna go right back in the landers. And right here, I went, yeah, I went for sub right here because I knew I could take U-turn well enough to where I could just go for sub and sub up. But unfortunately, he gets the crit, which I don't know why I'm saying unfortunately. I pretty much won at this point, and I mean, it doesn't make up for the other hack, so, you know, it just it basically prevented Chris from just 6-0ing him. So right here, I know I can take another U-turn, and I'm actually kind of hoping that Ice Beam does not take him out. Not Ice Beam, Sasha. But unfortunately it does. So that sucks. But right here he's just gonna go into Landris, and I have to decide whether I'm gonna be the bad person or the good person. But since I lost the 6-0 last week due to a play roughness, I am just going to switch out into Machamp and preserve the 6-0. I know I'm a horrible person, but I didn't want to lose it. This differential could matter later. So I'm just gonna go for the, after this turn happens, I'm just going to, oh my god, if this turn ever happens, this is literally the last turn, battle, coming up, and it won't, and it froze. Alright. Well, I don't know if this will ever unfreeze, but basically I just go for the Bandit Bullet Punch and take out his lander. Oh, there it is, finally. I go for the Bandit Bullet Punch and Landers dies, and that is a 6-0 sweep. Now, unfortunately, that sweep was aided by hacks. I feel terrible about that, but there's nothing I can do, really. I could have been nice and let him kill him on, but I really wanted the differential that it provided. So I want to thank you guys for watching. The Atlanta Braviaries are now 2-0 with a +11 differential, and yeah, so we'll be taking on Zero in the Tampa Bay Rayquazas next week. That'll be an epic matchup. So again, thank you guys for watching, and peace.